All right, welcome back, folks. Kings of Opinion, episode 78. We got Big Earn and the Wanderer here. Say hello, guys.
Hello,
Glad to have you with us.
All right, so we had a busy week since we last talked,
Yes, we did.
right? So when we last left off, right, it was the Yankees kind of taking care of business and the Mets hanging in there. So now we actually know who's in the World Series, and if you haven't heard by now, it's the Yankees and the Dodgers. So with that being said, let's break down a little bit of those games. I know me and Ernie saw our side of the thing. The Yankees, pull off some big wins over last weekend on Friday and Saturday, and then the Mets battled tough. What did you think about your Mets?
They started off the series, falling the game behind, but they were able to bounce back in game two, which gave me a lot of hope. Stealing one out in LA. That's pretty. I thought that was good. But then when they got home, they couldn't get it going, and they went quiet. They got beat bad. Even the first, I guess it was Tuesday, the game that Severino pitched. When I was watching it, something felt like just like eerie about it. Like all of a sudden, Alvarez is trying to get the guy out at second, which is like, obviously not the best move. But I was like, why is he even trying that at this point? And then just like a couple of like infield hits, or like off the mound, or off the pitcher, and Again, the bigger issue was the bats going quiet. So they lost the first two at home, and once that happened, they're pretty much against the wall. They did bounce back on Friday, and I think was it Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, on Friday, and they won. They got some hitting finally. Then it was on to LA. Going into game 6 with Manaea starting, I liked my chances, but again they couldn't hit, and that was pretty much what did them in. I do want to add too, Walker Buehler pitched great in his start against them, and he wasn't, he didn't really have a good postseason before that, I think.
Right.
Or at least his last start before that, but he hit some good spots. Obviously the Japanese guy pitched well
Yamamoto.
as well. But I did not watch much of Sunday. But that seemed to be when it all ended.
Okay.
It was 2-1. It was 2-1 when I went to sleep.
So to me, it was almost a tale of two teams in the same city. If you start off with the Mets, like you said, they weren't hitting, getting a lot of guys on base, which is what the Yankees used to do in all these playoffs, and then not come up with the big hit.
Yeah.
They had bases loaded. I don't even know how many times.
Yeah, in the first game at home, that was a big deal.
Oh, huge deal. But I think for every game they lost, they were getting guys on, but they couldn't get the big hit, because I felt like, especially at home, maybe not in LA, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even really watch that last game. I had a feeling that they were just going to win that game, and they didn't, and they were going to force a game 7. But the Dodgers will keep coming. In the playoffs, there's something to be said about giving good teams extra outs.
Yeah.
And if you just flip the switch to the other side, the AL side of things, you saw that with the Cleveland Guardians, even though they really should still be called the Indians, but whatever. And the Yankees were able to make like clutch hits, like almost like the Yankees of the 90s. You put somebody on, or you made an error, like that guy, the shortstop from the Guardians, Rocchio, thank you. I forgot how to pronounce his name. He made 3 like really bad errors, and every one of them the Yankees capitalized and scored some runs.
Right, which was highly unlikely of them too. So
Exactly.
You have to make sure you capitalize.
Right. And and some would say the Yankees are going up against the best bullpen in baseball. We didn't really see it. At times you did.
They definitely were coming into the postseason, right?
Right, 100%. And then when it comes down to it, it's the Yankees bats that got the extra hit. Like, what are you doing pitching to Stanton, up 2 runs, and you got Jazz Chisholm behind him who hasn't hit a lick, besides maybe that 1 home run or 1 double, and wound up getting picked off anyway. They didn't walk him. They hung a pitch in the zone, and he crushes it, ties the game. You know what I mean? And then after that, Soto comes up, and I don't know if you saw that at bat, but we saw that at bat, and at the time, you're not really paying attention to what's going on at the at bat. You're just like literally waiting for something to happen. Like, I feel like that's how we do it. And then after the fact, when you see replays of it, you see like Juan Soto was messing around with Gaddis. Like, he knew he wasn't going to get a fastball. And it's almost like he said to himself, I'm going to foul off everything you throw to me until you force yourself to throw a fastball. And when you do, I'll be ready. And that's it. And you could tell he was, because after he hit that ball, we're sitting here and we're watching it, and it's not like a laser beam, but it's just a fly ball, and it keeps carrying. You see, you're not even watching the ball at this point because it's not even in the picture. You're watching the center fielder, and you see him go back and back, and then he's at the warning track, and then he looks up, and then it's gone, right? And Soto goes bananas. Like, he's pumping his chest like King Kong.
Well, that's why he's the professional hitter that he is. Right?
Yeah, and you can see him stare him down afterwards too. And it was such a great thing to see, because you knew once he hit that home run, the Yankees were going to get 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go to the World Series, right? And then I guess that's what I'm talking about with the Mets need to clean up. And, as magical as their season was, and it was great for the Met fans, great for the city and everything like that, like, sometimes magic only gets you so far. You got to manufacture your own magic or get some magic back by getting some big hits. And maybe like you, instead of striking out, maybe you fly the ball out lazily to center field, and the guy doesn't get a great jump, and it dives in, and you score 2 runs. Like, things like that happen. You know what I mean? But they had a great season. There's nothing you could take away from the Mets. I know there's a lot of Met haters out there, just like there are Yankee haters. But I think right now, the way New York City is trending, it's good. Like, the Liberty won their championship.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I listen. MLB definitely got what they wanted with Yankees,
definitely.
Dodgers.
Right.
I think a lot of us here in New York would have loved to have seen the Subway Series.
Right, yeah, it's selfish of us. Just leave it in New York. That would have been great.
I gotta say, I still can't believe that the Yankees lost that game. When was it? It was during the week.
Yeah, it was
I'm watching
Tuesday.
I'm watching Judge, his home run off Clase.
Yeah.
Like, his, that's huge for Judge.
Yeah, big moment for him, yes.
Then next guy up, Stanton, another home run.
Back to back.
I'm like, this series is over.
Yeah.
Then I guess I was flipping through the channels, and I came back to it, and they scored another run, so they were up 5-3.
Yeah, and they could have scored another.
The next morning, I said, so the Yankees won, and my buddy's like, no. I'm like, what? I could not believe it.
Yeah, that was a crazy game, because that was just I would say like almost like more of a poor pitching performance, because before that was a Big Christmas.
Yep.
Before he hits the home run, the guy before him, I think it's Lane Thomas. Luke Weaver hangs, I guess if you want to call it a curveball or a changeup, on the inside part of the plate, but it almost too much plate, and he hits a bomb off the wall, the left center field wall. And that should have told you right there, okay, I'm not going to throw that again. And literally he gets an account where he throws it again to Big Christmas, and he hits an absolute moonshot, which ties the game. And then, an inning or two later, I think it was extra innings, right?
Yeah,
it was the 10th.
It was the 10th, yeah.
I forget how they got somebody on, but then that guy Fry comes up, and he blasts a home run off Clay Holmes. But I saw that coming. Once they tied the game, I'm like, all right, the Yankees lost this one. Let's just see how bad of a loss this will be. They got to bounce back tomorrow. They did wind up bouncing back the next day. It was another rocky game. I think that was the 8-6 game, right? Where they went up big. They went up 6-2. Another Stanton 3-run homer when they were only up 3-2. Because the Yankees originally went up 3-0, and we're like, okay, we're good. Cleveland crawled back, made it 3-2. Then Stanton again crushes a home run, 3-run bomb. Then they got another run. I forget how they got it, but whatever. It was 6-2. Then Indians crawled all the way back. Sorry, Guardians, whatever. Crawled all the way back to 6-6, and then I forgot. Was that the second and third when Volpe ran into the guy, and that's how he scored the other 2 runs? Or was that? Yeah, I don't remember who hit. Oh, it was Gleyber Torres.
Yes.
Gleyber Torres gets a big clutch hit, scores at least 1 other run, if not 2. I don't remember. I'm a little hazy. But then the Yankees wound up winning 8-6. And then Friday and Saturday, like I said, they're up 3-1 on Friday, and then Saturday they closed it out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the good thing for the Yankees is the pitching was good.
Good, not great.
Not great, but, honestly, as far as the lineup goes, obviously Judge did what he did, but you had a bunch of guys that came up big.
Yeah, like
Torres, Stanton, Soto.
Yep.
You get that many guys coming up big in your lineup every day. You're gonna win more than you lose. That's for sure.
100%. And it's almost like if you skip forward, and normally after like wins like that, I would want the Yankees to play right away. I think this is the first time that I can remember that I'm like, it's okay for them to have a week off. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons I'll tell you why is they had that bye when they played Kansas City, and I thought they were going to be like in a little bit of a lull because they had a week off, but they won the first game. So if they go to LA and win that first game, it's almost like what I said about the Mets. You go 1-1 in LA, your job is done. You know what I mean? Then you could almost think, if you're as hot as you are, we're gonna close out in New York. We're just gonna sweep the Dodgers in New York. It's gonna be extremely difficult. Don't get me wrong. I personally think my early prediction as of right now, until I see who's on the rosters and everything, which I didn't get a chance to see today, I think it's gonna be Yankees in 6. I would love to see them in 5 because I would love for them to celebrate in the Bronx. I just think the Dodgers are just too lineup heavy. Like, they got too many guys. So in order for you to win in 5, your pitching staff has to be almost lights out, like giving up 1 or 2 runs a game, and your guys just got to get the big hit here and there. Because as a whole, the Yankees haven't been hitting spectacular at the plate. Obviously, they've been light years better than recent years because they're getting the big hits. And that's, I was talking to my buddy at work today, that's what you really need. You could struggle game to game, but if you just keep either manufacturing a run or getting the big hit, you're going to win those games.
And that's what they did.
Exactly.
I mean, they weren't winning any games 2-1 or 2-0.
Mm-mm. They just weren't blowing guys out, which is what we're kind of used to them doing. But this is a different team than April and May when they were doing that, and you could just say they're going to win every day. And some of the, like you said, you mentioned some of the key guys. One key guy that I thought is like sneaky under the radar is Anthony Volpe. It's his first playoffs. He's hitting over 300.
Yeah.
He's only got, I think, 1 RBI, but that really doesn't matter to me. If you're getting on base, that's what we need.
Right. The other guys will bring you in.
Exactly. And he's a good catalyst at that bottom of the lineup with him, Verdugo, and probably now Wells, because Wells has been slumping.
Yeah, because when these guys that have been playing well come up, you want somebody on base, right?
Mm-hmm. And just keep doing what they're doing. They're taking a lot of pitches. They're making the pitchers work. Now, the Dodgers are like almost on the opposite side of the spectrum as the Guardians on both fronts. They got less of a bullpen. They got less of a starting rotation. I know we just saw recently that they have Flattery pitching in their game 1 against Cole. He's a really good pitcher, obviously. So, tough game 1 out in LA. But if you could sneak that by and make that a bullpen game, like you get them out in the 5th, and it's somewhat of a tie game where you're down by 1, like I said last week against the Mets, if they're down by 1, they're going to come back because they're a late innings ball team. The Yankees have been doing a lot of late stuff too in these playoffs. So, it's good that they're getting the rest, right? They got a week off, recharge your batteries, because you obviously saw that both Luke Weaver and Holmes desperately needed.
That's the thing, right? You kind of hate the long rest for the guys that were hitting well, right? Because you don't want them to get cold and lose it. But for the bullpen, they need the rest.
The bullpen and the starting pitchers, like it's a for everyone but Cole, because Cole was out like 3 months of the season. Everyone's been playing the whole year. I think we're getting Nestor Cortez back. I hope they're not going to put him in the starting rotation. I need that lefty with the weird mechanics in the bullpen, like in like some, high leverage situations, because I think he can handle it. And he used to come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be, the first option for a long reliever.
Yeah, either him or Stroman, but I don't even know. I just think they have Stroman on the roster as an emergency start now, or like an emergency backup, like if a guy only goes 3 innings and you got to be a quick hook.
I think that's what both of them are
Yeah,
for.
100%. I just think because of the lefties in the Dodger lineup, it's going to be Cortez first, depending on where they are in that lineup.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't think he's 100% either, but he's going to be a warrior and give it a go, which I like. I mean, worst case scenario, he gets hurt, you could sub someone in for him. So I like that he's ready to go. But we'll see. We'll see when do they have to put the rosters in by? I'm assuming soon, right? It's got to be any day now. It's already almost Wednesday, so it's got to be. If not now, it's got to be tomorrow. I'm assuming. So we'll find out about that soon. All the games are at 8:08 at night.
Yeah.
It's Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday. This is great for me because I'm on vacation on Friday, so I get to see the entire World Series uninterrupted.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's really nice. I'm glad it worked out that way. So I was looking at some I guess it was Instagram or TikTok, I don't know what it was, and Judge was asked to describe Ohtani, and I'm gonna tell you what he said real quick, and then please give me your honest opinions about it. Right? So he basically said Ohtani is a heck of a ball player. He's an icon, and he's the best player in the game, and what an ambassador for the sport.
I mean, listen, it's not all wrong, but at the same time, that's Judge. He's going to say the right thing every time.
I mean, I agree, right? Well, what are your feelings, Wander, before I end it off?
Yeah, I think I agree. He's going to be, complimentary, and
Judge is
that he
never-
doesn't have the, obviously the Yankees do things a certain way, but Judge also doesn't have like a big ego.
Right, and Judge is never going to be the one to say, I'm the best player in baseball.
No, I don't have a problem with that.
And I don't, I mean, not that I know much about Ohtani, but I don't see him being that type either.
No, but so it's funny. All right, so I'll answer the first part, and then I'll get to the second part. So I don't have a problem with most of his comments. The only problem I have is he's the best player in the game. Now, me as a competitor, and I get it, everyone's different, but for me, and we don't know him, like, it's not like we hang out with Judge all the time and we know this guy and he's like fake outside. I'm sure he's the same there as he is everywhere else, right? And you guys are not wrong. He's never like that. He doesn't have a big ego. I get all that. But I want my best player to be thinking he's the best player going into the World Series.
Well, but he could be. He's just not going to say it.
Right. But that's my point. If he's thinking that, which I hope the freaking hell he is, because he should be, because in my opinion, for at least this year, he's the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
He has the best overall stats. He plays the field. We could talk for hours on how you want to compare him to Ohtani. I don't care that Ohtani has 50 stolen bases. I don't care. Okay? They made it that way with these new rules anyway, so whatever. Don't care about the stolen bases. If you want to tell me Ohtani's better because he could steal,
Right.
Judge could steal, he just doesn't. Because he does have like 10 stolen bases. It might be out of 12, but he's not trying to steal all the time because that's not really the Yankees' overall game with him. And maybe he's injury prone, he doesn't want to do that. Base to base is fine, whatever.
Yeah, and when you got guys like Stanton him behind you, you're not going to steal bases.
Well, they'll say, well, they have Freeman behind, whatever. It's irrelevant. I don't care about the stolen bases.
Yeah.
He's the best offensive player in baseball this year. Now, you want to talk to me next year if Ohtani's pitching, and then you want to say it? Fine, no big deal. He's a unicorn. I get it. This year, it's Judge. So the only thing I would have done is I would have left that little sentence out. I wouldn't have said he's the best player in the game. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't want my captain saying someone else is the best player in the game.
Yeah, I get it.
Right?
Makes sense.
Okay? With that being said, he better in his head think he's the best player in baseball because we're going to need him if we're going to win this World Series. 100,000%.
Yeah, let's hope that, for everything he fell short with this postseason, he's saving it all for the World Series.
Yeah, I hope he's doing a reverse A-Rod where A-Rod did it the whole playoffs and then was a dud in the World Series and then everyone else picked him up. I hope he puts everyone on their back, but not in the traditional sense where he's like hitting 3 home runs every game. The other guys still got to do something, but like let's say it's a big moment in game 1 and he hits a 3-run bomb and the Yankees win, like something like that. And to me, I think if our 3-headed monster, Stanton, Judge, Soto, do that one a game, and it could be just either a game for any one of them, not all in the same game, I think the Yankees win the World Series pretty easily. You know what I mean? And then the 4th game is just gonna have to be a combined team effort. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how I'm kind of like looking at it. Like, if each one of them hits a big time home run in each one of the couple games, whatever they play, then I think the Yankees should take the series.
And that's what they are. They're pretty. The Dodgers lineup. It's pretty much stacked as lefties. A lot of lefties.
No, it's just their big guys are lefties. Like I think Mookie Betts is a switch hitter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Otani is a lefty. Freeman's a lefty.
I think Edmonds is a switch hitter too.
Okay, so yeah, Edmonds is a switch
He's
hitter.
been pretty clutch for them.
I think Kiki's a righty. Yeah, he has.
Last time he had,
Yeah.
especially in the Mets.
He has 11 hits and I think 11 RBIs in the Mets series.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're all hot. So like, we'll see where all this goes.
Should be a good series.
Yeah, it's definitely, listen, like you said earlier, and like we mentioned before, even before this was happening, they had the postseason commercial, and it was just Otani and Judge. So they got what they want. Yeah, 100%. And these guys haven't played since 1981.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
It's been a long time, and people have been asking for this for a long time, I guess. I haven't really paid much attention to it, but I'm sure, since the Dodgers have been good, they've been wanting it.
Well, let's see. Hopefully, it's it seems like it always comes down to one thing, and could be very easily for this series too, being that the lineups are both what they are. It's going to be who's got the best bullpen, right? And hopefully, the Marlboro Man comes up big for us. That's going to be his new name, the Marlboro
I
Man.
like it. We were watching the game the other day. It's Tim Hill.
Yeah.
So I found out what team he was from. Remember I said he was probably from the Rays? I might have been telling you this, or maybe my dad. So he was on the White Sox at the beginning of the year. He got designated for assignment.
Yeah.
The Yankees picked him up, and now he's going to probably pitch important innings in the World Series. And we call him the Marlboro Man because he looks like a Marlboro's man in like the 80s or something like that. He's got like that blonde mustache. He's got like that smoker skin. It's like hard leather.
We watched one of the games, and I'm like, I don't know why, but to me it looks like this guy just smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day and drinking Jameson.
Right.
And then like 10 minutes later, we get a text from Steve Kelly in the group message, and he's like, this guy smokes Marlboro Reds and drinks
Drinks whiskey, he said.
Natty Ice or something like that.
Yeah, it was so funny, dude. I was dying. Anything else to add for this World Series? I mean, we could keep going. Like I could talk about this for hours. I don't want to cut anything else out.
We'll have more to talk about on
Next week, I hope so.
So for next week's show, they'll have played 2 games.
3.
So it's Friday, Saturday,
Monday.
and Monday. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, so we'll have a good idea what's going on.
We'll be deep into it.
Yeah, and they'll be here in the Bronx, which is another good reason I'm glad I have vacation because I don't want to deal with any of that traffic.
Yeah, sure.
But it's I can't wait. There's all these hype videos for the Yankees everywhere, and I'm just watching them like I can't turn away from it.
Oh,
and then every
really?
once in a while I get tired, but then I see a new thing and I'm like, I gotta watch it.
Oh,
I was like, I
really?
can't stop. Yeah, all over TikTok. That's all I was doing today in between like work and whatnot. I'm like, oh, here's another one. They just keep popping up, and all different music, like Rocky music, like all this hyped up music. It's crazy.
I haven't seen any of it.
So crazy. All right, so before we get to football, let's talk quickly about the NBA because that starts tonight.
Yeah.
The Knicks are playing the Celtics. I'm assuming in less than an hour. I want to say 7:30.
Yeah, I think so.
They're in Boston. Apparently, Boston's getting their rings tonight in front of New York. So I think that's good. I don't care if they win or not tonight. They got, pretty stacked roster themselves. And, I think there's going to be a little chip on their shoulder that they're going to be getting. They're going to be seeing these guys get the
A
rings.
little motivation.
Yeah.
Let's just hope for a good year. We got some a little bit of a change in the roster from last year, right?
Yeah. You got Bridges and Karl Anthony Townsend.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like everyone I think thinks they're going to get off to a hot start. I'm not so sure because, like you said, they got some new guys in there. It's going to take a little while to get some chemistry. We got some injuries already with Mitchell Robinson being out and some other. I forget the other guy that's also out with like a hammy or something like that. I think he's the backup center. Also, like to Mitchell Robinson, I forget his name. So it's going to take a little time to gel, which is okay.
Let's see. I mean, the preseason's a preseason, but they looked and did very well in the preseason.
Yeah, and that's what that's for, right? No one's really going to play too hard. Now it starts to matter. But to me, basketball's kind of like that. Like they're just going to like.
Yeah, and we know the deal with basketball. Nothing really matters until the playoffs.
Right. So as long as you have a game plan to secure your spot that you want and you're comfortable with it, that's it. Like to me, honestly, if they get the second or third seed, I'm okay with it. If you're gonna, be in like the 8 to 10 spot and you have to play those playing games, then that's a problem to me.
Right.
And we all know they take days off and maintenance days and all that crap. So basketball's a little bit of a joke in that way. I don't know if that's necessarily the Knicks style. I think what's
Not
gonna
really,
because they play hard and Thibodeau.
Thibodeau plays a very short roster.
Right, and he works them every game. So I think to me, if they just stay healthy all year, we'll be okay.
We shall see.
Right, and today's game 1. So good luck to the Knicks and Jalen Brunson. I'll tell you this though, a buddy of mine at work has put in this bet, right? And you may want to do it before the World Series starts. You pick the Yankees for the World Series. You pick the Knicks for the championship. And then if you're a hockey fan, you pick the Rangers. And then you just blind luck for the Super Bowl. Because obviously the Giants or the Jets you're not really going to pick. But like, if you like the Lions for the Super Bowl, or if you like the Chiefs for the Super Bowl, you could win some big money. It's like $50,000.
Yeah.
And I think that's on like I want to say it was a $25 bet. And you'll get all, and what I don't know if you guys know, but DraftKings, you get like they cash you out early sometimes. So like if you hit the Yankees right off the bat, and then all of a sudden, you get to Super Bowl.
Offer you a payout.
Right, you get to the Super Bowl, and your Super Bowl pick hits. They might not offer you much of a payout there. It might be only a couple grand, which for $25 you could just take that and run. But then if you risk it on basketball, let's say you hit, and the last one you're waiting on, or the Rangers or whatever, and they're moving along in the playoffs, that might go up and up and up, and you might get like a good 25 grand. And then you don't even have to win, Which makes me tell you a quick little story. I did that this weekend. So I had a pretty impressive weekend. We won our pool. Not much, but we won a little something, a couple shekels. And I placed a bet that I saw on TikTok again. And it was a 5-leg anytime touchdown, right? And it was, oh man, now I can't think of it and it's on my phone. Either which way, I hit the 4 of them for Sunday, whatever it was. I know one of them was at least Mike Evans. Was that last night? No, that was a different one, I'm sorry. Either which way, 4 legs, I hit them all on Sunday. So I'm going into Monday, I bet $10 to win $460. The only one I needed was J.K. Dobbins to score a touchdown. So at the end of Sunday, they're offering me $222. So I'm with Rob Hoy. We're all together. I don't think you were quite there yet. I might have been all 1 o'clock starts, right? He's like, oh, just wait it out. Like, it might go up by the time game time starts, and then you could cash out or whatever. Or, like, they might be driving or whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. I had time. So I looked at it yesterday, and I looked at it in the morning, and it went from 222 to, like, 220. I'm like, all right, it went down to that. It was no big deal. Then I look right before I'm leaving work, and it went down to 214. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna take my friend's advice. He does this all the time. I do it here and there. He does it like every weekend, bunch of tickets to in college or whatever. He's like, take the money.
Don't leave it on the table.
Right. He's like, just take the 220, and then if you really want to and you really think that guy Dobbins is gonna get a touchdown, throw top $10 on him to throw a touchdown. Maybe you make another $30, and then call it a day. So I took the money out. So you know what? I got home. I placed a $10 bet, but not just for him. I placed 3 other touchdown legs between the 2 games. It was Evans, Henry, and somebody else from the Tampa Bay game. I hit all 3 except for Dobbins. So the one guy that I had originally the original bet never hit.
Wow.
So I lost the $10 on that. I made the 214. So at the end of the day, I made $200. Lesson learned out there, folks. Take the money that when they're giving it to you.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's that far apart.
Take the
Now,
money and run.
if you would have won 220 and you, instead of, taking the 220, you would have won 240, then you can let it ride if you want. But the difference was another $240. Give me the 200. See you later, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of football, last week we forgot to give out our picks of last week. Ernie wasn't here. Forgot to even say it on the show. So we're not going to get into last week's picks because it really doesn't matter right now. I'm going to turn it over to Big Ern. Give us what our overall rankings are right now.
Well, it has tightened up real good. Couple of strong weeks from the Wanderer and I, so we're right back in it. Ryan's still leading the pack at 16-12. So you have a game ahead of us because the Jets haven't had a bye yet.
Correct.
And the Cowboys had the bye on week 7.
Right.
So you're still leading the pack at 16-12. I'm right behind you at 15-12, and the Wanderers at 12-15. So it's bunching up.
Wow,
Close.
you made a big comeback, bud.
Yeah, because it was 3-0 this week and 3-1 last week.
Yeah, got 5 wins over 500.
Let's go.
Let's do it. So with that being said, I guess who won last week? Who was 3? I mean,
Me and Wanderer were both 3-0, and you were 2-2.
okay. So lead us off.
Okay. So my first pick is going to be the Lions. The Lions, who are facing
Titans.
the Titans and giving 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
Yeah, big number. Not one that I usually like to pick, but every time I say I'm going to take one of those and I don't, they cover. So I tell you, and the Titans are pretty dope. I don't even know who's quarterback for them because I don't. Levis didn't quarterback last week.
No, it's damn it! I heard who it was too. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
It's not the ex Raiders quarterback, is it? O'Connell.
No, I don't think so.
Anyways, so I'm taking the Lions -11. Next, I am taking the Falcons against the Bucks on the road, giving 2.5. I just saw today that Evans is out until their bye week, and Godwin, who I didn't realize got hurt, is out for the season.
Yeah, he dislocated his ankle.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And I
Tough
was
week for
watching
the
part of
Bucks.
that game. I didn't see that.
I think it was towards the end of the game.
Yeah, so I'm taking
How
the
long is
Falcons.
Evans out for?
They said till their bye.
When's the?
I don't know when their bye
Oh,
is.
okay.
I'm assuming it's a few weeks from now, but next I'm taking the Bills -3.
Oh boy, that means we're all taking the Bills
We
here.
are all taking the Bills. We
We're
are all
ready.
taking the Bills, and they're on the road against the Seahawks. So let's see. The Seahawks haven't looked so hot, and then we did see Metcalf getting carted off right at the end of the game. So I don't know what's up with him. And then lastly, of course, but not least, the Cowboy game. I'm not sure why I'm doing this, but I'm taking the Cowboys getting 4 on the road against the 49ers.
Well, I'll tell you why you're taking it.
Well, Ayuk and Samuel are both out, right?
Right, and CMC's still out.
Right.
They're down a bunch of guys.
Yeah. But Jennings will catch for 300 yards.
He's hurt too.
Is he?
I mean, he'll probably play, but he's banged up too.
Yeah. So we'll see. Let's see. let's see if maybe this is the game that Cowboys can take advantage of the injuries and turn things around a little bit.
Right.
It's
So
not looking likely, but we'll see.
we'll see what happens. We'll see. I mean, you guys need a big win, so hopefully that comes through for you.
Yeah.
I just hope, if they win, you win anyway. So it's good for you for the picks and for your football season, at the very least. For me though, I was gonna take this game, but I figured in order to gain some ground on you guys, I probably shouldn't. Because at least we match in one, and it's a good thing I didn't, because my first pick is the Bills versus the Seahawks, which we are all already share. So no matter what happens, we're either 1-0 or 0-1 together,
Yeah.
right? Very simple, like you said. The Seahawks haven't looked great. If the Giants can beat the Seahawks in Seattle,
Anybody can beat
right?
the
Like, come on, So that was simple, nice and easy for me to do. Then I have the Eagles and Bengals. I'm riding with the Bengals. They're 0-3 at home. They've won their last, I want to say, 3 games? So they're on a little bit of a win streak. And I can't see them going 0-4 at home. Right? That's my mentality. The Eagles aren't great either. Neither one have great defenses. Burrows looks way better than Hurts. So I'm going to ride with Burrows. Plus, he's also my fantasy football quarterback. So he better do good because I need to win this week. All my teams are trash, so I'm trending up, but I got a long way to go. So Burrows, if you're out there, work some magic and win this game by more than 3 points. And then we got the Cards and Dolphins. Tua is 1 concussion away from being borderline a mime. I don't know, but supposedly he's getting ready to suit up.
Yeah, crazy.
To me, that's a huge factor in this game, especially where they're only giving up 3 points and they're at home. They're only 2-4, so if they win this game, they're back in the playoff hunt because they had their bye week. He is in protocol, so hopefully he comes out of it, which I can't see how he doesn't after being out for, 5 weeks right now? You know what I mean? My only thing is, once he gets back in there, is he going to be rusty or is he going to still have some fatigue from the concussion? But I'm willing to take my chance with that against the Cards. The Cards are not a good team. They did win last week, but, whatever. Monday night game, chalk it up to that, I guess, whatever. And my last pick is the lowly, pathetic New York Jets against the Patriots. And they're in Foxborough. I don't like this line at all for them, -7. But I can't see myself with Aaron Rodgers and how talented they are, not covering that. I guess.
I know it's hard to imagine, right? Especially with everything that's been going on. If there's ever a game where you have the opportunity to make a statement,
this is that game, right? I agree with you. Do I feel overly confident? No. I mean, I could go back and forth for hours about all this stuff. The Patriots coach was calling their Patriots soft. Is he doing that to get extra motivation for them to come out and crush the Jets at home? Possible, but then that's when the Jets got to punch back. They did sign Hassan Reddick, so he's going to be there. Do I know if he's going to get hurt because he's been out for 7 weeks? I don't. But if you could give us a decent pass rush against Drake May, maybe this could be the first week where the rookie feels a lot of pressure and just starts throwing the ball away and opens up the field for the Jets. And then hopefully with week 2 of Davante Adams being there, there's a little bit more rapport and a little more team chemistry all the way around, and the Jets do what they did to the Patriots at home and just crush them. And that's it. That's all I got, folks. Wander, your turn.
All right. So first up, I like the Vikings -3 on Thursday night. I think that line's a little low, but we're just gonna roll with it. Next up, we all like the Bills universally. I think they get it done in Seattle by more than a field goal. Next up, I like the Steelers -6.5. They just beat the Jets pretty handedly, so hopefully they can keep that momentum rolling. And fourth, I'm going to take the boys getting 4. I don't know. I can't pick San Fran. Don't like them. We'll see what happens.
No, those are one of those teams nobody likes, right? There's a few of them out there, right? No one likes Kansas City. No one likes the 49ers. I'm starting to hate the Ravens, you know? The Steelers now, too. My dad's a big fan of the Steelers, but I'm not a big fan of the Steelers. Well, yeah, whatever. So we got that for football. Hockey's been up and going. That's fun. Not until May, I guess. I don't know. What are you gonna do with
Same
that?
thing as basketball.
Right. You know.
Nothing really matters until
The only difference is these guys are getting crushed in hockey all the time. You know what I mean? And for a lot less money, and they play every game. So I'll give them that. Another big sports week we got. So everything's out in the open. Football, basketball, hockey, and the World Series is here. We're a couple days away from it. I'm super pumped.
We're in the thick of it.
Super pumped about it. I have a good feeling. Any predictions from anybody with this World Series? What are we thinking? I already gave mine. I say Yankees in 6. I'd like 5, but Yankees in 6.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick, I would have said same thing. Yankees in 6. Although Yankees in 7 wouldn't be a bad thing because Game 7's on my birthday. So
There you
just
go.
saying.
But then you know what? That's a crazy day for you.
I know.
You know? Wouldn't you rather celebrate your birthday with a Yankees World Series the day before?
True.
Okay. What about you, Wander? Got any predictions? What are we thinking?
Yeah, I think I'll go Yankees in 6, but also just wanted to mention last week, you asked me for the score of the game that night, and I said 6-2, and it was 6-3.
I know. I thought about that. You were right on the money.
I was like so close.
Right. I was shocked. I was like, holy crap, he was so close. Dude, you don't even know. I was watching the game and I saw that. I was like, and you know what's funny? It was 6-2 to the 9th.
Was it?
They got an extra run in like a cheap bullshit run in the 9th because I'm sitting there watching. I'm watching what Ernie. I'm like, I think he said 6-2, and it was the bottom of the 9th, and then they got that cheap run, and I'm like, wow. So if you were betting either the over or the spread,
Yeah.
big winner if they took your advice.
I just had a feeling.
Yeah, it was dope. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Predictions for Game 1. What do we got? You got Cole versus Flattery.
I'm gonna go Yankees 5-2.
Wander?
We'll go 5-3.
I think Flattery's gonna get a bit of a dead arm issue.
So we're all in agreement the Yankees are winning Game 1. I'm gonna say it's a little tighter than that. I'm gonna say 4-2 Yankees, and there's one of our big 3 is gonna hit a home run to put us up in that game. Like we're gonna be trailing in that game 2-1, and they're either gonna tie it or put us up. That's my call right there to start off the World Series late in the game. It's gonna be a good start to the World Series. Just keep Wells in the game. Keep doing what they're doing, mixing and matching. I think the Yankees are going to be okay. Moving along to what we have been watching lately. I know we've been watching just a lot of baseball, but I've been watching Bad Monkey. I'd like to say I'm almost done with it. I talked about it last week. It's fantastic. I really hope there's a season 2. The way they did Vince Vaughn's character now, where he's so positive and very chatty, makes me just laugh at what he's saying.
Yeah.
Even if it's funny.
I can't see why they wouldn't have a season 2.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to, right? And then I've been watching a lot of Halloween stuff. I started Agatha, by the way.
How was that?
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's a little different than what Marvel's used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that being anything to do with Marvel, but it's like she's cool. She's good. She's funny. So
Yeah, I mean, I like her a lot because she plays in a lot of those funny movies where
Right.
she's either really raunchy or just really funny.
Yeah.
She was in whatchamacallit with the guys. Was it Step Brothers, right? Where she was the wife of the brother.
Yeah.
So she was great in that movie. And then there's another movie, I don't know if people saw it out there. If you didn't, definitely watch it. It's Jeremy Piven, The Goods, Sell Hard.
Yeah.
Bro, if you haven't seen this movie, you need to go home and watch it this weekend or before the baseball starts. Watch it this week. It's called The Goods. Play Hard, Sell Hard, or something like that. It's with Jeremy Piven. She's in it. You'll see. Ving Rhames is in it. He's a used car salesman.
I think I saw that.
Bro, if you thought she was raunchy in Step Brothers, 10 times worse than this. She's hilarious though. That's why I like her. So like that's why I give the show a chance. Plus it might have some connection to some other stuff down the line. That's why I always watch these Marvel things. Don't forget this weekend is also the Venom movie comes out. I will not be watching it until next week because the Yankees take priority over everything in life right now. But I will hopefully get to check that out before our next show, maybe. We'll see. Since I'm off next week, maybe I go to like a nice little matinee action.
And if the Yankees win in 5.
Right. If the Yankees win in 5, forget about it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've been watching. Anyone got anything else?
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, just finished Badmonkey, watching the old man, and
That's my next show, by the way.
I'm trying to think what else.
How was the ending of Badmonkey? Good?
Yeah, it's good. I think that might be it for me. Oh, I finished Mr. McMahon too. I didn't know if I had finished that last.
No, you
episode.
didn't. You didn't.
Yeah. That
Did you like
really
it?
Good. Yeah, that was really good. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Definitely.
Mr. McMahon, right? They said it's called. Yeah, that was definitely a good show. I hope they would do another one of those after everything that he's got going on. That would be great. Ugh, the
It's
scandals.
kind of hard to tell, the difference between his character and who he really is.
Right, 100%. And so that's it. That's
A lot
all
of-
we
A lot
got.
of blurred lines there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Definitely. He's kept a lot of things close to the vest for a lot of years, and now it's all coming out.
Yeah.
But that's what happens to these rich and famous people sometimes.
Yeah, power.
You get too much of it, and then you make the wrong move, you upset somebody, and then they want to take you out. You know. Yeah. So, do you have any music for us?
Yeah, no music this week.
None.
That'll be back next week.
Wow, shocked. Wow, this is crazy. Well, since we got no music, we're off to a bad start to the week already. I'm going to blame the Wanderer if something gets derailed over the weekend because he couldn't prepare 3 songs for us and you guys watching this at home.
I didn't know it was the good luck thing for you.
I would think so. I would just think so. I'm not going to put all the blame on you. Obviously, you're not playing in the World Series, but you're going to share at least 10 to 20% of the blame.
Fair enough.
With that being said, I wish everyone out there a good rest of your week. We're going to have a great week. The Yankees are in the World Series again after 15 years, so I'm super stoked about it. What I'm not happy about is the prices of those tickets. Did you see that?
I saw one posting that somebody was selling standing room tickets for $1,000.
Yeah, it's more than that. Probably now.
I saw something for a parking pass in LA for $6,000 or something like that.
Wow.
That's crazy. I saw standing room only for $991. I checked it myself, and that was for the first game on next Monday, and that's without the surcharge. I can only imagine how much that surcharge is on that app.
Yeah, the one I saw, the guy was selling them for $1,066.
Wow, that's crazy. And surcharges, I don't know if it's a set fee or it depends on how much the ticket is. Because if it's a set fee, okay, it's only another $35-$40. But if it depends how much the ticket is, you could be spending another $200.
Right.
So it could be $1,200. But with that being said, we'll wait till towards the weekend to see if these tickets go down. I know it's been a long time since the Yankees were in the World Series. I can't blame people for trying to price gouge these tickets. I'm just mad that I won't be there. But I'll be hanging out here at our studio watching the Yankees game on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
So-
care if they were $200, I'm not going.
Oh, don't say that. I would be going for $200. But either which way, folks, have a great week. Let's go Yankees. World Series bound. Here we
Let's
go.
go Yankees.
Game
Let's
1
go
Friday,
Yankees.
8:08. Till next time. See you later, folks.